You're watching KATU Channel 2, Portland. Now, in the spirit of the Northwest, this is Channel 2 News.
A last-minute appeal has been denied, and word could come at any time now that John Wayne Gacy has been put to death. Good evening, I'm Jeff Gianola. Julie Emery is off tonight. More than 100 people gathered outside the prison in Joliet, Illinois tonight. A few carried candles to show their objection to the death penalty. Most didn't object to his execution by lethal injection. Some even wore T-shirts mocking one of his former professions, a clown. They remember 1978 when the bodies of 33 young men and boys were found under Gacy's house. 15-year-old Rob Peast was his final victim. Tonight, his father says this is the day he's been waiting for.
Be relief of be able to sleep a night completely through. So I don't have to worry about him.
Porter Jim Rosenfield is in Joliet, Illinois, awaiting official word of Gacy's death. Let's switch there now.
Any minute now, we're expecting prison officials to emerge to announce that this 15-year odyssey is finally over for John Gacy and over for the victims' relatives. 33 young men and boys found buried beneath John Gacy's suburban Chicago home, found elsewhere on his property, and also some of them in a nearby river. Earlier today, John Gacy's attorneys gave up any hope of any last-minute appeal or any stay. The U.S. Supreme Court denying that request earlier today. John Gacy's lawyers told us about an hour and a half ago that it was over for their client. Again, at this hour, we can presume that John Gacy has been given a lethal injection, ending the life of one of America's most notorious serial killers. Reporting live near Joliet, Illinois, Jim Rosenfield for ABC News.
Okay, thanks, Jim. And once again, when we get the official word, we will let you know, but we can now presume that John Wayne Gacy is dead tonight. In other news, the desperate search for a young Oregon boy ends sadly tonight. Rescuers spent the past 2 days in an area about 45 miles east of Eugene near the McKenzie Bridge. They searched around the clock for 3-year-old Garth Romero, pictured here with his mother. Late tonight, a plane spotted his body in a nearby creek. The young boy apparently wandered into the river and became trapped by some logs. Well, American Indians fought for it, but apparently didn't take advantage of their first day of fishing at Willamette Falls. Earlier in the day, they built platforms that'll be used to fish for spring Chinook salmon. But not much fishing was done today. They told us the sun made it too bright so the fish could actually see their nets. Today opened the first Indian fishing season at the falls in 54 years as part of a compromise reached after the Columbia was closed because of poor salmon runs on that river. And a drastic plan to save those salmon runs could end up costing all of us money. The National Marine Fisheries Service is recommending dams along the Columbia and Snake Rivers increase their spills. Now, that would increase the number of salmon that survived their migration. It would also cut electric revenues. If revenues fall far enough, Northwest power rates could go up. It is now Tuesday morning in South Africa, and Nelson Mandela will take the oath of office to become president in just a few hours. In a history-making move today, Nelson Mandela and F.W. de Klerk walked into Parliament together for the very first time. It became official. Mandela declared the victor in the all-recent all-race elections. Outside an emotional celebration as tens of thousands of people welcome the ANC chief to power. Dignitaries from around the world are arriving for tomorrow's inauguration. Among them, Vice President and Mrs. Gore and the First Lady, Hillary Rodham Clinton. Be sure to turn in at 6 a.m. tomorrow. Channel 2 News will be talking to Oregon Congresswoman Elizabeth First, live from South Africa. First is a South African native and is back home for the first time in years. In Haiti, they're taking a wait-and-see attitude tonight about President Clinton's latest promise. Boats sit idly by despite the president's recent promise that refugees would be allowed to apply for political asylum. Most Haitians are too afraid to set sail for America. They say President Clinton has broken too many promises already, so they'd rather remain skeptical and stay on their island nation. Well, frightening moments for an Oregon woman who was in Los Angeles trying to save her baby's life. Lori Putnam has arrived back home. For the last 3 months, she's lived in L.A. seeking medical help for her 9-month-old daughter, Cheyenne. Cheyenne suffers from a severe immune disorder. But yesterday, Lori almost lost her life. While in a Los Angeles store buying gifts for nurses who cared for her baby, a robber entered, held a gun to her chest, stealing her purse. It contained important medical papers for her baby. Police quickly responded.
The only thing I ever knew about the police, you know, that I'd heard from up here is, of course, that Rodney King story, and I just thought that they were brutal and very selfish, and it wasn't at all what had happened.
Well, the incident scared the family. Lori and Cheyenne are back in Portland tonight at Dornbecker's Children's Hospital. And that notorious Rodney King beating case is back in the news tonight. A judge dismissed former police chief Daryl Gates as a defendant in King's civil suit. He said bad management and permitting racism in the department doesn't make Gates responsible for King's beating. And the judge also dismissed 4 other officers from the case. They were bystanders. A new hotel is coming to Portland, but you'll recognize the building. The Plaza Fifth Avenue building is vacant now. Remember, it used to be the old Frederick and Nelson building until that store folded a few years ago. But things are changing thanks to a San Francisco development company. By the summer of 1995, you'll see a 184-room hotel, restaurant, and parking garage in that downtown block. Times are changing. Still to come tonight here on Channel 2, Portland police wait for a thief to turn over the evidence. They say he swallowed it. And what's it really take to scare someone? Stephen King is the master, but there's a local author who's found his own secret. You'll want to hear his ideas next.
And tomorrow morning, the sun will be eclipsed by the moon, and we'll get a shadow. You'll have to watch closely like right now, but there will be a solar shadow cast over our part of the world. I'll have details on where it'll be best viewing and how to view it coming up a little later in weather.
Tomorrow morning at 6, you can see us on radio as Channel 2 News goes remote.
We'll visit with the former Channel 2 sports anchor live from KFXX and KGON.
Dependability. That's what built this land, lad. It's sons depending on sons. Brothers depending on sisters. Birds depending on bees. And a whole lot of you are depending on U.S. West. Because U.S. West was born out of this great land of ours. So we made it our business to be, well, dependable. And dependable's having a service that works, no matter which U.S. West service you have. We're simply a real person with answers on the end of the line. Oh, give me a home where the dependable people roam, and I'll show you one dependable phone. And just think about this. U.S. West is about to bring you more dependable stuff than you can shake a stick at. Because all you dependable people in the Midwest, Northwest, Southwest, and all Wests in between are, well, depending on us, U.S. West.
I'm very thankful for Walmart, Cedar Works, and the opportunity to live in this beautiful area.
Walmart's Buy America philosophy has made the difference in Adams County. We have 225 jobs because
We keep building, keep adding, due to Walmart.
They've given a lot of people in this area jobs, and this area really needs jobs.
When you got a product like we put out, we can compete with anybody.
Bringing it home sure helps our hometown. When I see Walmart trucks rolling down the road, I know that they're carrying American products.
Doc, I'm really worried about my fat intake. How can I lower my cholesterol level? I don't know.
If only kids cared about what they ate as much as you do. Well, they don't. That's why there's Lightly 97 hot dogs from Hormel, with only 1 gram of fat and 1 great taste. So, until kids care about what they eat.
Well, I gotta do something about this root beer belly.
Lightly 97 from Hormel, the one to serve.
Now, Channel 2 News continues.
Well, tonight, Portland police are waiting for a robbery suspect to produce the evidence. Wade Hamilton allegedly swallowed 2 diamond rings stolen from this Fred Meyer store. He denies it, but police say Hamilton's trips to the toilet so far have produced 25 cents and a $160 diamond ring complete with the price tag. Police are still waiting for a $2,300 ring. If it's decided the ring is blocked, surgery will be required. We'll keep you posted on that one. Well, actor George Papard is dead. He died yesterday in Los Angeles from pneumonia at the age of 65. Papard's career spanned 4 decades and included such popular films as Breakfast at Tiffany's and The Blue Max. He starred in television during the 50s, and that's where he achieved his greatest fame. He's probably best remembered as the leader of the A-Team, a hit series during the 1980s. George Papard, dead at the age of 65. Well, Stephen King's scary book-turned-miniseries, The Stand, is drawing big ratings among television viewers. Perhaps you saw it. It's a scary story of a man-made germ that leaves behind only a few survivors choosing between good and evil. Now, where do those stories come from and who enjoys them? As Bob High reports, one local author says you don't have to look very far.
Writer Steve Perry of Beaverton has 30 novels to his name, including works similar to Stephen King's. But where do all these ideas come from?
From just going out walking down the street at night and watching people, watching television, anything that sparks an idea, just ask the question, well, what would happen if this happened? And you find that virtually everything will give you an idea. Ideas are relatively cheap. It's the execution that's a little tougher.
Is the main gate still open? Shut it! Yes, sir. We're dying like flies down here.
King's idea for the stand also comes from a true story.
A chemical biological warfare spill in Utah, where a number of canisters of bubonic plague, artificially created bubonic plague, were dropped off a truck that was taking them somewhere where they were going to be buried, and they broke open.
Herds of sheep died, but wind direction kept the germs from reaching Salt Lake City.
Death, along with who, what, where, when, and why, can be a popular and profitable business, as it has been for the past 11 years, at a Portland store called Murder by the Book.
King's novel and 12,000 other books jam each of 2 stores. The perfect reading material for customer Penny Wolf.
Most of the ones I really liked are reading. There's a real clear good guy and there's a real clear bad guy.
Evil takes form in the stand. It reflects the conflict store owner Joe Hinckley says is a common thread.
I mean, that's the one thing you can say about every book in this store is it always focuses on a crime. And a crime is, by definition, something that we've said as a society is not acceptable.
But why read scary, mysterious novels? Writer Steve Perry believes he knows the answer.
And when you're done, you're done, but you're okay. It's people like to be scared because it's kind of like the guy who hits himself in the head with a hammer. It feels so good when he stops.
Perry doesn't plan to stop writing anytime soon. In Beaverton, Bob High, Channel 2 News.
And by the way, the owner of Murder by the Book says women readers outnumber men by about 2 to 1. And while many folks are following Stephen King's miniseries, The Stand, on television, there are some people who are missing out. These people are at Bright Mile Elementary School tonight to help wean themselves off television. No, don't do it. For the next week, Bright Mile volunteer students and their families will not watch the tube at all, but they still will have a lot of fun.
The fireman said, what can they be? The Southern Pacific and the Santa Fe.
I'll teach you what 10 plus 2 is. A plus, a dash.
Alex was running as fast as he could, which was not fast at
It's a great idea. People tonight browsed through the school's library and dabbled on the computers. For the rest of the week, the school will provide families with discount tickets for things like ice skating and books. Getting back in touch with your family. Matt Zaffino joins us next with another bright forecast. And make your New Year's plans early. Guess who's coming to Portland to ring in 1995? Also coming up, we'll tell you about the Wonder Bra.
Before. After, Channel 2 News takes you to extremes. It'll transform you too. Watch all this week at 5.
Like a rock.
Here's the Chevy S Series in color. Here it is in black and white. The new Chevy S Series. Everything else is history.
I had envisioned watching his bride walk down the aisle to him.
But Janet now got the shock of their lives.
I cannot believe that he did this to us.
Their only son eloped.
They still can't get over the hurt and the anger that they're feeling.
Leslie's 16-year-old daughter eloped with a 17-year-old.
How did you feel?
Hurt. I was angry.
But how will Brenda feel when she finds out?
We flew to Las Vegas and we eloped.
On the next Sally Jesse Raphael.
Tomorrow at 4 on KATU Channel 2.
You are about to discover a whole new way to communicate. One that will touch more people than the invention of the telephone, amaze more than the advent of video, and do more to change the world than even the computer, because it brings together all three. Introducing the world-class network, the fiber optic network from GTE.
That's why I called you,
It
Doctor.
combines the power of the
What do you
human
have?
voice, the immediacy of interactive video, the precision of real-time data, and delivers it all to you on a single line. It can send images of photographic quality.
I know that this is something that you
It
want
can carry full-motion broadcast quality video
Be
conferencing.
necessary, but
And it can transmit volumes of information
Hey, what else do you have?
from anywhere
you can take the whole file.
to anywhere instantly. The world-class network. It's here today, and it's only from GTE.
Okay, we've just received official word from Illinois. John Wayne Gacy is dead. The official word coming from Statesville Prison there just a few minutes ago. Once again, convicted killer John Wayne Gacy, convicted of killing 33 people, was put to death by lethal injection tonight. Well, have you noticed? It's a sign of the times. In the last few weeks, gasoline prices have jumped as much as 15 cents a gallon. You can find some deals, but generally prices are ranging about $1.25 a gallon. Cheaper at some stations by a few cents, more at others. Well, what's caused the recent increase? Here's some reasons. Texaco's refinery in Cherry Point, Washington is temporarily shut down. Also, there's a little less gasoline in the Northwest because of oil derrick fires in the North Sea. That slightly affected the supply of crude last month. And OPEC is trying to reduce oil production worldwide. More increases are expected at the pump, but local gasoline dealers say prices should level out sometime around Memorial Day. And we're having just great summer-type weather, speaking of Memorial Day coming up here. Just great, man.
It has been just a spectacular weekend with those 80-degree temperatures and a little bit cooler on Sunday for all the moms out there. We also have that eclipse coming along tomorrow, too. Tomorrow morning, it won't be all that dramatic around Portland, but it will be happening here. Check outside right now. We have partly cloudy skies, so some of those stars are being eclipsed by some clouds that are up at about 15,000 feet. It's 63 in Portland, dry air mass. It's just 39% humidity right now. That's real low for this time of the evening. Barometer is rising, and our freezing level is at 12,300 feet. Now, the best place to see this eclipse will be in a line from about El Paso, Texas, up into western New York State. Of course, we're not there. We're up here in the Northwest, and only 54% of the sun will be eclipsed by the moon. Again, the path of totality will travel in that direction from the southwest into the northeast there. Now, this is called an annular eclipse, and that refers to a ring. An annul is a ring, and there will be a ring of sun left when the moon eclipses. It'll look something like this, because the moon is too far away from the Earth right now to eclipse out the entire disk of the sun. So most of it, and that's along the path of totality, will be eclipsed, but there'll be this ring of sun left around it. Now, here in the Northwest, things will be a little bit different. We won't see that. We'll have the sun, we'll have the moon, taking about 54%, or the opposite of that. About half of the sun will be bitten away by the moon. Now, don't look at this directly. You'll hurt your eyes if you do that. There's nothing special about the sun when there's an eclipse. You never want to look at the sun any time of the year. People are tempted, though, when we have an eclipse to do just that so they can see it, but you don't want to do that because you'll hurt your eyes. So make one of those boxes, get some of those viewing devices that they have at OMSI or something like that, and you'll see something in that nature where the sun has this big bite taken out of it, and they really are kind of fun to look at. Very warm around the state today. 80 in Salem, that was a high. 79 here in town. On the coast, cooler. Seaside never even made it into the 60s, but check out Hermiston. They almost made it into the 90s up in northeast Oregon. Here's our satellite picture. Some high clouds drifting over right now. The main system is way out here. It's history. I mean, it's not history, but it's way off in the future, so we don't have to worry a whole lot about that system coming along. It'll remain out there, and we're not going to see any activity from that until we get into probably the weekend. But we will see a change to some cooler weather as we go into starting Wednesday night, and then especially by Thursday and into Thursday morning, and then on into Friday too. Nationally, big thunderstorms in West Texas here. Radar indicates that some of these have been producing 6 to 9 inches of rain in as little bit of time as 4 hours. These are going to merge with more thunderstorms from New Mexico, so there's a big mess down there. There's been a lot of severe weather, and that is going to continue as that system pushes on out towards the plains. 70 in Denver tomorrow, 69 in Minneapolis, 79 in Atlanta, and 72 in New York City tomorrow afternoon. Here's the way it looks on radar. You can see those thunderstorms And here's our forecast. Sunshine on the coast after some morning clouds. Should be a very nice day. In the valleys, mostly sunny, some patchy morning fog. Again, you don't want to look at the sun directly. We'll see that eclipse. It starts in the morning at about 8:10. The maximum will be at 9:18 tomorrow morning, right during AM Northwest. In the Gorge, west winds 10 to 20, lots of sunshine there. Cascades, sunny and in the 60s. Central and eastern Oregon, lots of sunshine. East side of the mountains, too, so everybody in the state should enjoy it. Look at that, 89 in the Dalles tomorrow, 85 Burns, 84 for our friends in Bend. On the coast, a little bit warmer than today, mid-60s, and we should touch 80 throughout the Willamette Valley and the rest of the western valleys of Oregon and Washington. Small craft advisory south of Florence, northwest winds gustier down that way. Our forecast, sunshine after a few morning clouds and a high of 80. I'll be back with a cooler forecast, long-range forecast, right after this break.
KFC has a delicious 8-inch apple pie waiting for you. Free with every whole chicken meal you buy. What a deal! 8 pieces of original recipe or extra tasty crispy chicken. Get a free pie. Plus, you get large mashed potatoes and gravy, large coleslaw, and 4 biscuits. And your free pie. Or a whole kernels rotisserie gold chicken. Yep, a free pie. Plus your potatoes and gravy, coleslaw, and 4 biscuits. And did we mention a free pie?
We are KFC. We do chicken right.
At Target, our people are ready. Ready to trim back prices on everything you need. Mowing down prices in every department.
Before you buy inline skates, be sure the price is in line too. Like our Play School adjustable skates, just $16.99 for ages 3 to 6.
Thanks for shopping at Target. Have a nice day.
Target. Expect more. Pay less.
Dear car owners, if your car pulls, shimmies, or bounces, come to Midas, the suspension experts, for a thorough inspection and a guarantee on shocks and struts for as long as you own your car.
Get a coupon book filled with over $50 worth of money-saving offers from neighborhood businesses when you come to Midas now. Don't forget, Midas is the place for all your steering, suspension, and alignment needs.
Oh, dear.
Dryers. Evidently, it's not your normal ice cream.
The last of the 80s for tomorrow. Actually, on Wednesday we'll be close, and that'll be a nice day, too, but the clouds will increase late in the day Wednesday. Thursday, there's the cooling. Look at that, 11-degree difference from Wednesday to Thursday, and some drizzle on Thursday morning. Friday, pretty good day. We'll have clouds in the morning, then some sun, and then more clouds late. And Saturday looks a little bit rainy, so it's been way above normal, and we should be in the mid to upper 60s for high temperatures this time of year, Jeff. We've been running 10 to 20 degrees above that, so a little bit closer to normal. Also, tomorrow morning, you want to tune into our morning newscast at 6 a.m. Ron Peterson will be broadcasting live from KGON and KFXX. Our old sports director, Steve Arena, will be joining him, I believe.
Oh, okay, so that's tomorrow morning at 6 a.m.? I'll set my alarm clock.
I'll be up.
Thanks, Matt.
Sure.
Well, on the eve of her first American concert toured in years, Barbara Streisand has a surprise for some Washington, D.C. students. They're dancing with joy after finding out Streisand is donating $50,000 in cash and equipment to the school. Streisand says music gives kids a conduit for expressing themselves and helping them grow. Meantime, she's fighting criticism about the high price of some of her concert tickets. She thinks $350 isn't much if you spread it out over 28 years, the time of her last tour. And listen to this, while Streisand won't be stopping in Portland, someone bigger will. Luciano Pavarotti, considered the world's greatest tenor, will be stopping in the Rose City at the end of this year. In fact, he'll perform at the Coliseum on New Year's Eve. If you have season tickets to the Portland Opera, you're in luck. You'll get the first crack at Pavarotti tickets. You can still subscribe. Just contact the Portland Opera. Maybe there's some Sonic fans who would like to maybe switch in their tickets and join the opera.
Fans.
Yeah, or Blazer fans.
Any kind of fans, yeah. It's a nice little Barbara, Pavarotti,
yeah,
and me. And maybe just right in a row, right, leading in right into me.
Yeah.
I think that's just great. Hockey is what I'm going to lead with. They play that at the Coliseum, though the season is over for that team as well, but it's not over for the Stanley Cup contenders. Back with the highlights after this.
People need things, basic things, like water, oxygen, and plates. Unusual plates. Hand-painted plates that don't cost a fortune. And chairs, metal chairs, wicker chairs, striped chairs. And people need pasta and olive oils with exotic flavors so you can whip up a gourmet feast once in a while instead of settling for a frozen dinner in a box. That's what people need. Cost Plus World Market. Everything you need. Everything unique.
Our computer network has become critical.
The faster it works,
as fast as I want to go,
the faster I work.
It means no more network crashes. I can do my job, not watch the network.
The problem is when the network goes down.
I know there's a problem with the network.
And someone has to take responsibility.
I need diagnostic tools to fix it.
What we need is
one company that would monitor the network
and take care of the problems.
Even when we can't.
Seems so simple, doesn't it?
Enterprise Networking Services. We maintain LANs and computer networks 24 hours a day. Call 1-800-DATA-USW.
Kink, FM 102.
Well, it's a marvelous night for a month.
I'm alive.
Let's compare these two babies. The baby on the left has a beating heart. So does the baby on the right. The baby on the left has arms, legs, fingers, and toes. So does the baby on the right. The baby on the left can turn and jump and kick. So can the baby on the right. The difference is, the baby on the left was just born, and the baby on the right would very much like to be. Life. What a beautiful choice.
Welcome back, everyone. It's on to the third round of the Stanley Cup playoffs for the New York Rangers. New York has breezed through the playoffs so far, losing only one game. But they nearly blew this one tonight. After building a 3-0 lead, the Rangers let Washington get back in it. Sylvain Cote scored the tying goal at making it 3-3. But Brian Leetch saved the day for the Rangers. With 3.5 minutes left, Leetch waltzed right to the doorstep and flipped it home. Rangers won 4-3 and won the series 4-1. The surprise in New Jersey tonight, where the Devils, who trailed in this series 2-0, now lead the series 3-2. Credit Martin Brodeur, who turned back 22 shots. Boston goalie John Casey made 21 saves, but he couldn't stop Corey Millen, who made it 1-0, or Bobby Carpenter there. New Jersey won 2-0 and now lead that series 3-2. Baseball now, some great defense in the majors tonight, too. Yes, they looked like goalies. In Chicago, Darren Jackson had the Mariners' number, going after the foul ball here, and he nearly got it. Yes, it bounced first. No matter. Same batter, Felix Fermin. Jackson going the other way, this time in fair territory to pull down Fermin's drive. Seattle not left out of this show. Ken Griffey Jr. with the dive off Ron Karkovice's bat. But no one could get to this one. Tie game, Felix Fermin again ripped this homer far away from Jackson, and Seattle beat the Tigers 3-2. Milwaukee over Boston. New York clipped Cleveland. Baltimore topped Toronto. Fermin beat Chicago. Minnesota cuffed Kansas City. And Texas clobbered California. In the National League, defense here, too. John Kruk's kind of built like a goalie. He made the save on Deion Sanders' shot, but as you'll see, he had to dive to nail him at first. And yes, indeed, he did get him just in time. Atlanta won this one 7-2. Fred McGriff's big home run did it, and Terry Pendleton here ripped another one to do the offensive damage for the Braves. Elsewhere in the National League, San Francisco hammered Colorado. Pittsburgh routed California. New York edged Montreal. Atlanta beat Philadelphia. Chicago stopped St. Louis. Los Angeles rallied to beat Houston. And Cincinnati beat San Diego. Washington State University has its new men's basketball coach. He's Kevin Eastman from the University of North Carolina, Wilmington. Eastman says he does not plan to change the Cougars' intense style of play. Eastman's team finished third in the Colonial Conference last year with 18 wins and 10 losses. The first of the NBA's postseason awards to Houston center Hakeem Olajuwon, the league's Defensive Player of the Year for the second straight year. Olajuwon averaged almost 4 blocked shots and 12 rebounds a game for the season, leading a Rocket defense that set a club record for fewest points allowed. And who can forget his memorable blocks against the Blazers' Clyde Drexler and Rod Strickland last week. Hakeem Olajuwon edged San Antonio's David Robinson in one of the closest votes ever. Finally, the NBA expands in 2 years with the addition of the Vancouver and Toronto franchises. Vancouver wanted to be the Mounties, but the real Mounties objected. so they're still searching for a nickname. Toronto, meanwhile, has narrowed its search to 3 nicknames. They've already rejected such monikers as Scorpions, T-Rex, Grizzlies, Terriers, Hogs, Tarantulas, and Beavers. But they've decided one of these 3 will be it. When we began our telepoll at 5, if you think they should call the team the Toronto Bobcats, dial 733-5350. If you like the Dragons better, dial 733-5351. And if you think the Toronto Raptors has the right ring, dial 733-5352. Final results in just a few minutes. So this is your last call to call, because we have only one more commercial break, and then we're done for the night. So get those calls in, and we'll tally them up in a minute.
Yeah, I'm on the edge of my seat. I think it might be the Raptors.
I have that feeling myself.
Okay, we'll be right back with more Channel 2 News, including college students who put their education to work.
Make it simple. Make it cool. Make it really look like you. Wall makes it easy to do.
No matter what the style, Wall home haircutting kits make it easy. Every Wall clipper is American-made with snap-on cutting guides for all kinds of looks and lengths. Plus everything you need for professional-looking haircuts right at home. Wall home haircutting kits.
Wall makes it easy for you.
For 47 years, the Morrison Center has nurtured children with special needs through life's challenges. You can help support this work. Come, be a kid again at Evening as a Child, Friday, May 13th, a benefit for the Morrison Center. For tickets, call 232-0191.
Because every family needs a car designed for safety and reliability, all Volvo 900 series wagons include a side impact protection system, dual airbags, and generous amounts of cargo space. And now they start at just $24,200, because Volvo also recognizes that having enough money to fill it up is important too.
Someone is changing the real estate industry throughout North America and beyond. The men and women of RE/MAX. Look for us.
Out in front.
Hey, good morning. That's quite a lot of paper you're recycling there. What do you think they do with it all? Do you think it's being made into new products?
Like what? What are you going to make out of a bunch of old newspaper?
Well, how about new newspapers?
Oh.
Recycling works. Warehouser.
Something is about to hit local department stores that could be an uplifting experience for many women. The Wonder Bra was unveiled in New York City today. It costs $29 and has the unique design characteristics that allegedly can take what a woman has, what nature gave her, and make it look different. In other words, maybe a little more cleavage. Locally, Nordstrom expects the bras to arrive soon. They have already got a waiting list of 200 women locally. Also on the market, new body-shaping lingerie guaranteed to give you a more shapely figure if you have the right price. And finally, tonight, police find themselves the victims of an ingenious prankster, or pranksters. When the sun broke over Cambridge, Massachusetts this morning, a wayward patrol car towered over the community college. Officials at the Massachusetts Institute of Technology knew immediately the hackers had struck again. Every year, the underground group pulls some kind of stunt. In this case, what looks like a police car on top of the school's dome is actually a shell, but it comes complete with working light siren, police dummy, and donuts, the whole 9 yards. And police don't know exactly who put that up there, and I don't really think they're going to go after anybody either. It's just kind of fun. That's what they do, the nerds over there at MIT, when they want to relax. Hey, let's talk about the weather for tomorrow, Matt.
Speaking of nerds.
Speaking of nerds, yeah.
No, it looks pretty good for tomorrow. We're going to have a nice day. In the morning, so a few clouds around, but we should be able to see the eclipse. Remember, look at it. Don't look directly at it. You'll hurt your eyes. And then sunshine and up to 80 tomorrow. So there you go. Nerd forecast. One last look.
Oh, I'll take it, Matt. Okay. Our exclusive telepoll, Lou.
Yeah, speaking of nerds, we had a lot of time on our hands in the sports department tonight.
Yeah.
A lot of time to devote to this. Our telepoll question today was what should Toronto's NBA team be nicknamed? These are the 3 names that the Toronto franchise has decided will be the choices. And, ooh, not too many calls, but a very close vote. In fact, that's the all-time lowest telepoll vote call of all time, I have a feeling. But it looks like Raptors is barely ahead.
Yeah, well, I think they'll take Portland's advice.
We'll know by Sunday.
Take care, everybody.
ABC News and Channel 2 News, recognized as the leader in television news. Tomorrow morning at 6, join Dan Christopher and Janice Weibel for Channel 2 News This Morning.